Who introduced Kim and Nicole? Chris and Nicole. Congratulations, you guys know each other. Who introduced you? Yeah, whatever. Who introduced Chris and Nicole? At the time, Kim undoubtedly asked all about the exact details surrounding Chris and Nicole's first encounter. Was there a spark? How was the conversation? Did you exchange numbers? How was his driving? Maybe? In doing so, Kim will have become so emotionally invested in their budding love story that now, several years later, she will talk in front of us of having convinced herself that she was the one who introduced Chris and Nicole to one another. Quote unquote, I'm the only one who knew the both of them, she'll say. And that's great. But let's not let the emotions or time gone by confuse the facts. Us guys know how new relationships really work. Simply put, it starts with the guy making the first move. And for every guy who makes the first move, there's always a good wingman alongside. Me. In the late fall of 2007, I encouraged Chris to end the relationship with a girl who left to teach English in Japan. I encouraged him to open his eyes and heart to possibilities on this side of the Pacific. There was this fun, cute girl from Wisconsin, I said. New in town, I said. A big catch, but you better act fast, I said. And he did act fast. He met her at a Halloween party, Chris festooned in pirate clothing. And now, 7 years later, here we are this evening. Chris and Nicole, you're welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fairy Matchmaker Kim, and these are my matchmaker wings. And I have this matchmaker wand, which you'll notice has Gatsby and Ginger on it. I want to tell you now about the story about how I brought Chris and Nicole together. It all started in the land of Happy Valley. Happy Valley is a town not far from here, which is where I went to school with Chris and Ben and Michelle and Tony and a lot of other people that are here tonight. We had wonderful times in high school. And Danny. Sorry, Danny. And then it was time for us to move on. And so Chris and I and Michelle and a few others, Jess, we moved to the land of the Cheeseheads. We went to school in Wisconsin. And it was there that I met Nicole. It was at a Milwaukee Brewers game, and we happened to have a dance-off in the parking lot. And at that moment, I knew we were going to be the best of friends. And so we were lucky enough that both of us got jobs back in Minneapolis after college and both moved back here. And Nicole and I, and many of our other friends, would spend our nights going out in the town, experiencing life, and thinking about how we were going to get boyfriends. And we would dream up these lists of places we were going to go to meet said boys. We would adventure to St. Paul. We thought maybe we could meet him at the gym. And we'd come up with all these lists of ideas. But we knew we had to get boyfriends because you know what? We were 25. So one night, we were all over at Tony's house. Nicole was not there. And there were many of the people from Happy Valley that were all there. And I started thinking, I was like, you know what? There are some single guys in this room. Nicole needs a boyfriend. This is perfect. And then it dawned upon me. Sir Chris. Nicole's knight in shining armor. He was going to be the man. So I went back to Nicole. I was like, Nicole, you must have a crush on Chris. And she literally said, yes, I am going to have a crush on Chris. It was that easy. And I was like, okay, well, there's two sides to this relationship, right? It's not just that easy that I convinced Nicole to have a crush on Chris. Chris was part of the relationship. And now I am a woman that is smart enough to know that I was not going to be able to convince Chris to have a crush on Nicole. He would not listen to me, a female. He was going to listen to his male counterparts. So I enlisted super sidekick Ben. Ben, come here. Come up here, Ben. I need your help with this story. You need to wear a cape. Super sidekick Ben. I needed his help because Chris was not going to listen to me. So I said, Ben, we've got to get Chris and Nicole together. I've got Nicole convinced. She's got a crush on Chris. Now you need to convince Chris to have a crush on Nicole. Go do it. And so, super sidekick Ben, he went off on his challenge. And so there were some fun Halloween parties that Ben talks about where they hung out and Lucky was there. But then, Lady Nicole, the love really happened in December. After that Halloween, when Nicole decided she was going to host a Christmas party at her new condo. And she was going to invite all of her friends. And I checked her guest list, and I said, Nicole, who's on that guest list? And made sure that Sir Chris was on that guest list. But it was not that easy. If you know Chris, you know he's always late. He's late for everything, right? And so I knew this was going to happen. Sir Chris was going to be late to that party at Nicole's house. And so I talked to all of the friend group, and I said, you know what? We all need to leave by 10 o'clock. And so you know what? Everyone left Nicole's party before midnight. And as we were leaving, the condo was clear. Sir Chris showed up with a six-pack. And it was only Sir Chris and Lady Nicole that night that closed that party at her condo. And I truly believe it was at that moment that their relationship ignited. And it was a few days later, I think, that they went on their first date. So that, my friends, is why I'm here to tell you today about how I, matchmaker Kim, set Chris and Nicole up and kindled the love that they have together. That was pretty. Okay. Wow. You want to sit with me? That was impressive. Okay. It's not decided yet, though. Now we do audience vote. So there is Ben and the story of men make the first move. Or, hold, I'll call a pause. Or there's Kim, the fairy godmother matchmaker. Okay. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, and then let's hear applause for Ben. 1, 2, 3.
That was okay.
Wow.
That was pretty
I
good.
heard a lot of men's voices in that one somehow. Like sticking together, some bonding happening. Yeah. Okay, and now it's Kim. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we gotta cut this off. We gotta cut this off because I can't hear.
I don't
know. That seemed pretty close. I think
I don't know.
we need a little
need to consult.
consultation.
Just 2 minutes. Yeah, no, we got this.
Okay.
We got who it is. No, we got this.
Okay.
We made a decision.
All right. So we've consulted. We've talked. We've made our decision. The person who introduced us is someone that went to high school with Chris. All right, that doesn't give it away. Someone that I have spent hours talking about relationships with. The goods and the bads, the excitement, especially the excitement of new relationships. And then finally, this person is someone who's been there from the beginning. This person who was there at one of our very first outings together, where we enjoyed a big bucket of popcorn at Williams, is actually Kyle Voracek.
Oh. What am I supposed to say something?
If you would.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, gosh, what do I say? That's just an honor. I mean, congratulations, first of all, on your day. Obviously, you guys are just very in love, and a beautiful couple. Beautiful couple. I mean, man, listening to Kim and Ben's conversations about who introduced you first, clearly that was just a big ego trip. I mean, wow. You can't say anything but that. I mean, you're both larger than life, clearly. Wow. I mean, the fairy wings, that's a little over the top. Seriously. Wow, where do I start? Well, I mean, I think, Nicole kind of alluded to my involvement in them meeting. Oh, well, you want me to tell you? Okay, that's good. There's matchmakers, there's wing men, and obviously wing women too, I guess. But I remember the first time I met Nicole, I had actually, to her reference, just met this amazing woman 2 weeks before. Just beautiful woman. Would you stand up, Andrea? And I remember sitting at Williams, sharing a bucket of popcorn with Nicole for about an hour, and just talking about how in love with this woman I was and just how crazy it was. And at the time, I wasn't really looking for love. And I was just shocked that it had found me. And I was impressed, I was amazed, I was just awestruck by it. And I think, as Nicole and I talked and we threw some popcorn back at each other, Chris came by and randomly threw some popcorn all over the place. She had a little piece of popcorn stuck on her nose. Cutest thing ever. I think what we established was that love isn't a wingman coming in and helping you out. Love isn't a woman coming in and trying to make something happen. Love happens to you. It's random and it's beautiful. And, maybe Chris is random. Nicole, obviously, you're beautiful. But I think love found me at the time when I wasn't looking for it the most. Just like for a lot of us that are here together today, it found us when we weren't looking for it. And I think Chris and Nicole, it happened to you guys naturally, and I'm excited for the love that you guys are going to share for the rest of your lives. So if we could all raise a toast to one another, I wish you guys a wonderful life. Thank you.